Episode 22 of Bandits Weekly, presented by Smash Supplements. My name's Nathan Crosby. Great episode this week. We've got Bandits defenseman Matthew Tyar, who's on NHL Central Scouting. We've got another Bandit defenseman that was on NHL Central Scouting last year and then ended up getting drafted by the Vancouver Canucks, Aiden Celebrini, who's now playing at Boston University on a stacked Terriers team. We're going to talk to Celly as well on this podcast, which is brought to you by Smash Supplements, where you can get everything you need to level up and power through your day, located in downtown Brooks, open Monday to Friday, 10 to 6, and Saturday, 10 to 4. There was only one game for the Brooks Bandits last week. Let's talk about it. It was supposed to be Saturday night at the CRA against Okotoks. Bad weather that day. The game got postponed due to the road conditions, so we had it on Sunday afternoon here at the CRA. And the Bandits certainly have had the Oilers' number of the last three meetings, especially basically since that hockey hooky game was the last real close one between the two. I thought Okotoks though definitely had more of a push though, especially as the game went on into the second and third period. But the Bandits really built their lead in the first on going up 3-0, 2 goals from Danilo Korzeletsky. And the Oilers just couldn't recover, and the Bandits just too much with the 7-4 win. So Korzeletsky had 3 points. Hunter Wallace had 3 points. Both were given honorable mentions for the BCHL Alberta Division Player of the Week. And we'll get to see those Oilers again this Friday. A lot of Brooks versus Okotoks head-to-heads, though there will be 11 by the end of the year, including the AJ and BCHL matchups. So the Bandits win 7-4 over Okotoks on Sunday. That's their 50th win total of the season, 50-5 record, and a 9-1 BCHL record. And the team remains undefeated at home at 27-0. So, Matthew Tyar. Why don't we get to our interview with him? He's in his first season with the Brooks Bandits out of Richelieu, Quebec. Won a Quebec championship with St. Hyacinthe, played at the TELUS Cup, and he's committed to Penn State. And here's our chat with Matthew Tyar. Matty, thanks for doing this, and congratulations so far on this season. It's been a wild season, trip to Sweden, changing leagues, game cancellations. Just from your perspective, what's it been like?
It's been cool. It's been awesome. Started off with Sweden. Obviously, we won. That was great. It was a great experience, too. We didn't know what to expect. Just going there, playing national teams, and that's pretty much all we knew. So that started off the season pretty awesome. So that was cool. And then just played. Now we switched to BC. It was a bit hard for 2 weeks. I didn't know what was going on, not playing games canceled, and then finally started playing, and it's been pretty good so far, so it's awesome.
From a player's perspective, what's the last month been like in the new league, even though you're still playing teams that you're familiar with?
Yeah, it's pretty good. We're playing better teams, obviously. It's really good teams, so good games, and we have full weeks of practices now and play on the weekend, so it's really good to work on your bodies, practice, work out more than we used to because we play weekday games and stuff. So I think it's been great, so I love it.
You mentioned the tournament in Sweden we went to last August. What did you take away from that experience?
Just I was soaking it all in. It was never been to Sweden, obviously, and then national teams, there's good players there, and just trying to learn the systems, obviously new to Bandits when I came there, so it was just a great experience overall.
A lot of people always ask me about the competition over there. It was pretty good competition, some national teams, as you mentioned. But I think the thing that was interesting was watching our team get used to international rules. There's a few different things there. Was that the first time you'd ever played international rules, and what was it like adjusting to that?
Yeah, it was the first time. It wasn't too bad. The first game was a bit harder,
Yeah.
That was a weird game, but yeah, it wasn't too bad. Just had to get adjusted to the new rules. You could get penalties off face-offs that we don't get here and stuff like that. So no, it was cool.
It really was. So your first year with the Bandits, what's it been like coming from Quebec out to Brooks, Alberta, living here and getting used to how things are here?
It's been great. It's obviously a smaller town than what I'm used to because of Montreal, but I have awesome billets who treat me I'm a part of the family, so that's been great. And the hockey's been awesome. We've been winning games a lot. The coaches are great. I'm learning every day, getting better. So yeah, it's been great.
You mentioned your billets, the pals who have billeted a lot of Bandits now. Have you been able to, have they put you in touch with some of the former players they've had and obviously are playing D1 hockey now? Like, have you been able to connect with them?
Yeah, I've connected a bit with Heath Armstrong, who was there last year and a couple of years before. Like, he's came down and stayed at the Billets for a couple of days, and I think he's going on a trip to Montreal recently. So Carm told me about that, so he'll probably text me and ask me a couple of stuff. But yeah, no, it's been great so far.
You're going to give Army some lessons in French?
Exactly. I'll learn a bit of French.
And he's been he's an alumni of Bandits Weekly,
Yeah.
so now you and him can talk about your experience coming on this podcast.
Perfect.
And how life-changing it was.
Oh yeah.
But your background, so you're from Richelieu, Quebec. Is that always where you lived? You born there, grew up there?
Yeah, I was born there, grew up there, always stayed at the same place. So.
And just outside Montreal, basically?
Yeah, just like 25, 30 minutes outside of Montreal, so not too far.
And then minor hockey took you to AAA in St. Hyacinthe.
Exactly.
That's a little further outside the city, right?
Yeah, it's like a little further than Montreal. It's about 40 minutes, 45 minutes away from where I live in Exeter. And it's about, I'd say, the same thing in Montreal. So,
well, what a final year you had with them and getting a chance to go play at the TELUS Cup. Just tell me about that team you were on and the guys that were on it and just the success you had.
Yeah, obviously we had an amazing team. First and second overall, Caleb Denoyer and Emile Guité that went first and second in the Q draft. So I played with those guys. That was awesome, really good players. And yeah, we just had super good team, won our league championship, went to TELUS, and we were hosting it too. So it was close. We had a bunch of fans, pretty much a packed bar in like every single game. So that was awesome. We lost in the finals though. That was a bit disappointing because that's the team we beat in our league championship. So that was a bit tough, but it was overall an awesome experience.
And you had some experiences now in tournaments, Hockey Canada tournaments like the TELUS Cup, and then you were at the World Junior A Challenge in Truro earlier this year. I think it's a pretty special moment considering you guys won the gold medal. First off, there was 6 Bandits at the time on that roster, and you'll be the last Bandits to play on Team Canada West at the World Junior A Challenge. I mean, just that experience, what was it like for you?
Yeah, that was great. Obviously, with 5 other Bandits and stuff, so that was like awesome playing with them on like a new team, and it's like Hockey Canada like experience, a big tournament. There's teams from Sweden, the U.S. team and stuff, and we had a rough start, so we weren't expecting much, and ended up winning the gold. So that was awesome. You
mentioned your teammates in St. Hyacinthe that drafted high there in the Q. So my question to you is, when was college hockey on your radar, and that you wanted to go D1, you wanted to look at Junior A?
It's always been, was always my goal, I'd say. So I never really wanted to play in the Q. So like even before the Q draft, I was telling all the teams that like my goal was to go college and stuff. So I don't know, just kind of my dad liked it and showed it to me and showed me all about it. So that was my decision pretty early on.
And that's led to a commitment to Penn State. We got 3 on this team committed to Penn State. But what is it that really excites you about Penn State?
Obviously, the coaches are great. So just learning from them every day is going to be great. And Penn State is just an awesome college, playing in the Big Ten and stuff like that. And now I'm going to have teammates I play with here that I'm going to play with at Penn State. So that's going to be great too.
Talk to me about Nathan Free, another Penn State commit, and what he's been doing over the last month. Just what do you think makes him a special player? Yeah,
he's been buzzing. He's super fast, great shot, just can score from anywhere, and that's an awesome skill to have. So yeah, he's a really good player, fast, good movement, can shoot the puck, good passes. So yeah, I'm excited to continue my journey with that guy.
Yeah, you, Free, Sawyer, you guys listed on the Central Scouting rankings. What's it like from a player's perspective when you hear that and you know that there's going to be people watching you and there's that attention? What's that like from your perspective?
Yeah, obviously we all say we don't think about it, but I think it's always like in the back of our minds, and it's like just trying to figure it out and like not like focus on games and focus on the season, what's ahead, and not really focus too far ahead on draft. And like, I mean, Coach Pap told me the exact same thing that he told Freezer. Like, if you get drafted, there's going to be better players than you that aren't getting drafted, and if you don't get drafted, there'll be worse players that I'm better that get drafted. So I try not to think about it too much.
It's pretty exciting though for you and them and the organization getting that attention, just like we did last year with the 3 players that were drafted. So that's awesome. What have you learned this year in your hockey development? How has coming to Brooks helped you as a player?
I feel it helped me like just make plays quicker, play fast, skate a lot. We have obviously like a lot of systems and like move in the whole zone, like not just be a passive D and just stand there and do nothing. So yeah, it's been awesome for me. One
thing that players always say to me is working on building their confidence. What is it that the coaches do to help you build your confidence with your game?
They let us do mistakes. I feel that's the biggest thing. Like they don't get mad at you. They don't bench you for mistakes you've done. So like that's good. You can have confidence, and like even if you make a mistake, he'll just like show you what you did, show you what to do better, and then just learn from it.
That's a good answer, and a reminder that we're not all perfect. Well, most of us.
Yeah, exactly.
Aren't all perfect.
For sure.
You had mentioned. I said before the interview, like, what are you into besides hockey? So you have a skateboarding background?
Yeah. Skateboarding since I was pretty young, probably like 5 years old. We had a neighbor of ours who skateboarded and just started like skateboarding in the driveway with him, and it was a passion. We just skateboarded every summer. It was hockey in the winter and skateboard in the summer, me and my 2 brothers. So that's been really cool. Obviously, had to stop just because I got to a point where I was pretty good and like injuries were coming and stuff, so had to stop.
Injuries with skateboarding.
Yeah, exactly. So I've had to be more careful and focus on hockey, obviously.
Did you like any skateboarding competitions, things like that?
Yeah, I've done a couple like more local, not like super huge competitions, but I've done a couple local competitions, and that's always great. It's really different. It's different than hockey, different sport, so it's individual, obviously. So like if you make a mistake or whatever, you can't like. You just blame yourself, and you have to get better alone. So it's a whole different thing. So I think it's cool to touch a little bit of everything when you're young and stuff. So
well, maybe when the snow melts, we can bring you outside here at the CRA and see what you can do.
Oh yeah,
that's really cool, and it's neat to sometimes hear different backgrounds from players. Like it's not just all about hockey, and you hear cool stuff like that. That's amazing. I mean, like I remember when skateboarding like blew up when I'm dating myself like 20 years ago. So like were you like really into like the Tony Hawk video game? Like how'd you get it? Like it was just your neighbor though?
Yeah, it was pretty much started with our neighbor, and my older brother started a bit before me, and I just wanted to copy them, just seeing skateboarding like in my driveway they were skateboarding. I was like, I want to do that too. And then obviously the Tony Hawk games and all those type of games were pretty cool to play when we were young. So yeah, it's always been a sport I love. Still love it. Can't do it as much, but it's okay. So
that's awesome. Tell me about your family. So you're one of 3 brothers. You're the middle.
Yeah,
you're Maddie in the middle.
Oh yeah. Obviously, me and my older brother, we say that my parents like our younger brother more, but we're just fooling around. I think that's a real thing.
As a baby of a family,
yeah,
I know that we get all the love.
Exactly. I get a lot of love from my parents, and I appreciate them for all that they do for me. So no, it's been cool. I have a younger brother who's pretty good at hockey too, and just seeing his journey and seeing what he's doing is pretty awesome. Then my older brother just stopped playing hockey recently and just works construction and seems to love it, so I'm happy for him.
That's cool. I've met your parents. They've been out to Brooks a couple times. They're police background, right?
Yeah, both of them are police officers, so it was kind of weird. People like saw us, three brothers at skateboarding, and 2 parents are police officers. They're like, that doesn't go together, but it just worked out. My parents are always been like supportive of whatever we want to do. We did a lot of sports like soccer, wrestling, tennis, and yeah, my parents, I think they met at their police station when they were younger, so that's pretty cool too.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's here you are.
Exactly.
That's awesome. Congratulations on the success so far this year. I'm really excited to see what you're going to achieve here in your future, not just with Brooks, but moving ahead. Obviously, the draft coming up and everything ahead for the team. Just how much are you looking forward to completing what's been a very interesting season, but how much are you looking forward to completing it the right way?
Yeah, I'm just taking it one step at a time, one game at a time, and just enjoying the full process of it. So it's great.
Maddie, thanks for doing this.
Thanks for having me.
And good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Thanks to Matthew Tyar for joining us on Bandits Weekly. So we have a defenseman theme on this week's episode. We talked to Maddie, and now we're going to hear from Aiden Celebrini from North Vancouver, BC, older brother of Macklin Celebrini. Of course, you've all been hearing about him with the upcoming NHL draft. But our focus will be on Aiden, who spent the 2022-23 season with the Brooks Bandits after playing at Shattuck St. Mary's with current Bandit Ethan Beyer. Aiden's now at Boston University with his brother Macklin. Terriers are going to be a team to watch here at the NCAA tournament when we get into that later on. Is BU. Just as good as any other team to possibly win a national championship. What a story that would be for Aiden Celebrini in his first year at BU after a great year with the Bandits where he won an AJ championship and a national championship. Here's our chat with Aiden Celebrini.
Aiden Celebrini, it's great to see you. I got to say, first off, I haven't seen you in a few months since you guys left here after winning the national championship in Portage. You look a little different, and I mean, up top, I mean, that's some short hair you're rocking right now.
Yeah, I had to overcorrect from my days as a bandit. Had the long, luscious locks.
They were long, they were luscious. Do you miss it? Do you prefer to have long hair, or is this usually what you have for a haircut?
Yeah, I've loved the long hair for the past little while, but recently just been experimenting, and I woke up one morning and I was like, wonder how it would look with a buzz cut. So I did it.
Did you give yourself a buzz cut, or did you go to a professional?
No, I went to a professional.
Okay.
I didn't trust myself with that.
Well, it looks good, and it's great to see you again. You're in your freshman year at Boston University. You guys have a heck of a team. How has the first year been for you at BU?
Yeah, it's been incredible. I mean, the team we have, the coaching we have, the environment we have here, it's been world class, and obviously got high expectations for the next few weeks coming up. But so far it's been top notch.
Yeah, regular season is coming to an end here, and then into the playoffs and then the tournament. I mean, how you guys feeling with where things are at right now with the team?
Yeah, obviously we're confident. Like you said, we've got such a talented team, and we found ourselves in some big games already. We've played in front of those big crowds in those high stakes games, so we kind of have some of that playoff experience under our belt. A lot of returners from the Frozen Four run last year, so we're super excited and super confident with what we can do here.
Yeah, like I got your lineup sheet here in front of me. I mean, this is a stacked team. And how about this blue line? Like Lane Hudson, you hear a lot about him, Montreal draft pick. All your D, it looks like they got NHL logos next to them. McCarthy, the two McCarthys, Weber, yourself with Vancouver, Tom Willander. Like, this is a stacked blue line. Like, what's it like playing with such a talented group?
I mean, it's unbelievable, and we're all competitors. We all make each other better. We all learn from each other, and it's been an incredible year for my development, just learning from these guys and having such a high caliber team. And it makes the practices as competitive as the games, and it makes you confident going into the games, knowing that you're practicing against some of the best players in the world for your age. So whatever team we face, we've known that we've had that kind of iron sharpens iron mentality, and it's definitely shown in some of the higher level games.
You hear a lot about this Lane Hudson, and seen him, now a few times on TV. But what's he like? Like, what kind of what do you think really makes him stand out?
Yeah, he's so shifty. He's so elusive as a player. Like, even in the 3-on-3 games or one-on-ones that we do, you think you have him till you don't. He's like a little shadow out there. You never truly have him defended, and um, he's such a deceptive player. Like he's he's got these subtle fakes, these subtle moves, he's like a Luka Doncic in the sense where he doesn't have to do much to get you off balance, and he knows how to use your balance against you. So, yeah, he's a defenseman, but he's an offensive genius.
Well, I trust your opinion on well, I like the basketball reference first off, Doncic, but I trust you when it comes to basketball, given your family's background. So that's cool. I like that you didn't compare him to like an NHL defenseman. You compared him to a basketball player. That's cool. I'm looking at this lineup sheet too, and the other thing I noticed is like there's a lot of similar last names. So there's got to be a few sets of brothers on this team. Like how many sets of brothers you got on here?
Oh yeah, we've got 3 sets of brothers. We've got myself and Mac, the McCarthys, and Hudsons. Yeah, so we got a big family feel here.
How cool is it to be playing with Macklin? And we were just chatting before. I mean, this is the first time in a few years that you've got to play with him.
Yeah, it's first time since our days at Shattuck St. Mary's, and honestly, it's incredible to experience all these awesome moments with them. Our first bean pots together, playing at Madison Square Garden, um, playing in these big rivalry games like the Boston College weekend. It's been incredible to kind of have each other's back in those games and experience those special moments with your brother.
And just wanted to just ask about being around Macklin and the spotlight on him and how he's handling things with the draft coming up. I mean, what's that experience like? Yourself getting drafted last year, so but just getting to be around him and as he goes through all of this.
I mean, yeah, obviously different situations. I was in a spot where I was battling for a draft spot. He's in the spotlight. He has a lot of expectations on him, and um, it's really been trying to separate him from that. Try to. I mean, you can only shield him to an extent, but it's really just trying to be a resource for him. Be there just to make sure he stays human. He's not because it's demanding. It's a different type of pressure for sure, being the best player in your age group and being projected first overall, and nothing's guaranteed either. We have to he does a great job understanding to stay kind of even keeled and focus on his own process here, because all that noise can distract a player, especially at his age, doing what he's doing. So yeah, it's really just trying to provide as few distractions as possible.
Well said. So like your relationship, just tell me more about like the two of you and like how you guys have, on and off the ice. Obviously getting to play together is great, but personally, I mean, just tell me about your guys' relationship and the things you guys like to do together.
Yeah, he's my best friend at the end of the day. I mean, we're brothers, but our bond goes beyond that. And um, you know, we actually ended up being roommates together voluntarily, and both of us have our moments where we regret that decision. But for the most part, we've loved spending that time together, and we've gone into the city together on days off. We've done different things around Boston. It's cool to kind of explore the city with them, and know that we can experience those things outside the rink as well.
That's cool. And like, what have you thought of not just playing hockey at BU, but the culture of the university and Boston and everything? Like, what's it been like settling into all of that?
Yeah, I mean, there's no better place to play college hockey. You see all the passion and all the character that's around this city, especially in their college hockey. All the rivalries and yeah, I think just being in a city with so much character and so much love for sports, it's awesome to kind of feel that when it comes Beanpot season or Hockey East, when you have those rivalries, BU BC, BU Northeastern. Um, it's it's a blast. Like there's no better feeling than playing those games.
And it's a real competitive conference again this year. I mean, you guys, Boston College, Northeastern, there's some huge teams in there. How about Providence? Getting to see former teammate Hudson Malinowski. You bump into any other guys besides Huddy on the ice?
Yeah, I mean, um, it's been awesome to see how he's been doing. He's having a great year himself, and too bad we haven't been playing Penn State or any of those guys. But yeah, it's been awesome seeing some guys even from back home and stuff in these different games, and you know it's amazing to see kind of how far so many of us have come.
So 1 year with the Brooks Bandits, but what a year it was, and you get to experience winning an AJHL championship and then the national championship in Portage. What was your like takeaway? What did you learn in your time in Brooks that you think has really helped you moving forward?
It's something I take with me even here. It's just that winning mentality. I mean, when I look at winning franchises and when I look at special teams I've been a part of, Brooks is the top of that list. I mean, I still take those lessons I learned, and use them even in these games. And yeah, it was such a special year for me. I love that group of guys more than anything, and um, yeah, it's something that I'll definitely cherish for a long time.
Well, one guy in particular I got to ask about is Ethan Beyer, your D partner, and also, Shattuck alum,
And
just
roommate.
like you. And yeah, everything. I mean, uh, I'm sure you keep in touch with Barry, but just how tell us about what you think of Ethan's play this year and just and your friendship with Ethan.
Yeah, I mean, he was my even going into it, he was one of my closest friends. I mean, um, we spent so much time together throughout the year, and um, yeah, I I love the kid, and I'm so happy to see him thriving. I mean, he's as driven as anybody I've met. I mean, he's somebody you can learn from. He's somebody you can take a lot from, just how he goes about, um, from keeping his room clean to how he trains and how he practices. So, I mean, yeah, there's there's no better kid in this world.
As for your billets, you keep keeping in touch with them.
Yeah, we've got yeah, Ken and Carrie. They were crucial to my year at Brooks. I mean, they're like a second family, you know. Um, the love I have for them is it's like my second parents. I mean, they continue to call me, continue to check in, see how things are going. Yeah, they're unreal people, and I'm very, very lucky to have them.
I gotta ask about your family. Obviously, we talked about Mac, but got to know your dad a little bit, and obviously, such a cool job he has with the Warriors. I mean, just let us a little bit into that world and what it's like being around, such an amazing team and athletes like Steph Curry and everyone on the Golden State Warriors. I mean, like, what's that been like?
Yeah, I mean, every time we go into that facility, our dad makes sure we're taking notes because, like you said, the amount of world class athletes um, and the standard that organization has, it's special. I mean, you look at the dynasties in all sports, and not many teams and have done what the Warriors have been able to do. And you see that tradition, you see that standard even now when they're kind of on the tail end of that dominant run, but you still see that nothing's changed in terms of their approach, in terms of their standard, their expectations for that organization. Like all the young guys are held to the same standard as the guys who have been doing it for years, and that's how you create winners. That's how you create that tradition of winning.
It sounds like another team I know. But I think as long as they always have Steph, I'd never count out the Warriors with Steph and Draymond and that whole crew, Steve Kerr. Yeah. It's such a cool connection. And I love that, like, we got to have you here for a year. And so we kind of made us, you know, a part of it as well. So, it's so cool. Like it's such a unique background you have. And I love that. So are you like a decent basketball player? Like if you weren't playing hockey, would you be playing basketball?
I like to think I am. I mean, I'd love to have a few more inches on me, but if if I did, I think I'd be able to be a pretty good basketball player. I mean, yeah, just ask Barry. He's been enough times in the Shattuck gym when I've gotten hot.
Who's
Yeah,
winning a one-on-one between you and Barry?
oh, it's not even a competition. I mean, I don't even know if he'd score a point. Uh, I'm a lockdown defender. I'm just a two-way player, you know. I'm like a Draymond Green out there.
What about you and Macklin? Who's winning a one-on-one basketball game?
Probably still me. I mean, I've got the physical advantage. I've got the shooting advantage. You know, basically all aspects. I don't think he'd score a point either.
You got to say yourself. One final thing, I do want to ask before we wrap this up. Last summer NHL draft, you're taken by the Vancouver Canucks, your hometown team. What a special moment to get drafted by your hometown team. A lot of guys can't say that, but just take us through that experience of getting drafted by the Canucks.
Yeah, you know, it was surreal. I mean, you get drafted to any NHL team and it's a dream come true, but to get drafted to the team that I grew up on, the team that I went to all their regular season games as a kid, explored every inch of Rogers Arena, went to the family skates. You know, when I was a young kid playing mini sticks with my brother, we pretended we were the Vancouver Canucks. We pretended we were the latest draft picks, you know, and so it makes it really special to kind of experience that. And yeah, when I saw my name next to the Canucks logo, it was surreal. Like I don't think there's been a happier moment in my life.
Right on. Can't wait to see you in a Canucks jersey one day. But all the best. Thanks for doing this. Good luck to you and BU. We'll be cheering for you guys here as we get into the playoff season. I love this time of year. as hockey playoffs everywhere, but especially college hockey. It's going to be fun to watch. You guys have a great team, and I really hope all the best for you guys.
Thanks, Cross. Appreciate it.
Thanks to Aiden Celebrini for joining us on Bandits Weekly. We look ahead to this weekend for the Brooks Bandits. 2 games, a road game on Friday. We haven't had one of those since February 16th. We're in Okotoks this Friday for a rematch with the Oilers. We have 2 more games left against Okotoks. Both of those games on the road, including this Friday at 7 o'clock. Bandits are back on home ice on Saturday, March 9th, hosting the Black Falls Bulldogs at 7 o'clock. Big thanks to Matthew Tyar and Aiden Celebrini for joining us on Bandits Weekly. Don't forget, we'll have some news coming out about playoff ticket packages very shortly here with the announcement from the BCHL about the playoff format. So stay tuned for that, and there should be a brand new website coming down the pipe here. I'm Nathan Crosby. Thanks for listening to Bandits Weekly.